Hey, this is Pete with BananaHobby.com. In the next few minutes, I'm going to run you through what is called a bind process. Many of the radios that come with our aircrafts and our products nowadays come on what's called 2.4 gigahertz. In the event that you need to rebind your transmitter to your receiver, these are the steps to take in order to rebind your transmitter and receiver. What that means is getting your transmitter to read the signal coming from your receiver so that your product communicates together. We have various transmitters laid out here from all of our different products. So what I'm going to do is run each individual 2.4 gigahertz transmitter and its bind process in a closer view for you guys, so you guys can use this video as a tutorial on how to rebind your 2.4 radios. Most of these will be made by either Blitz RC Works, Topfire, or Arctech. And keep in mind, when you guys get your receivers inside the aircrafts, the antennas are usually pretty short. Some of them are extremely short, 1.5 inches. That's normal. They are not on FM anymore, so there's no long antenna. They are very short. They're self-contained, so they're inside the aircraft. The antenna doesn't need to be outside or anything like that. They can come with a little antenna as an inch long here, or some, like the Topfire, will come with one receiver with a little bit longer antenna and then a satellite receiver that's got another antenna on it. Different variations of these radios have different receivers, so all of them function the same. The bind process will be different, so I'm going to run you guys through what these bind processes are, one radio at a time. Okay, this is your bind process for the Blitz RC Works SkySport, the MC6DF, or the MC5DF, or the MC4DF. Those bind processes for this radio that's going to look like this right here will all be the same. The 4s will not have these switches up here. I didn't have one here on the floor to be able to bring out here, but the bind processes are exactly the same. So this is the bind process for the MC6DF, the 5DF, or the 4DF that looks like this. A lot of these will be coming with the Sky Surfers and some of the 50mm jets and various jets that we carry. So what we're going to go ahead and do here is always remember when you're doing the bind process, the bind process will get you guys back in the air real quick. Just a very few steps here and you'll be back in the air flying. When you do the bind process, make sure everything is turned off and nothing is turned on. The battery to the aircraft is not plugged in and the transmitter is off, okay? And also remember always to put your throttle stick, which is this one here that doesn't bounce back, always put that to the lowest position and leave it in the lowest position for the bind process, always, so the aircraft doesn't spool up on you when it does bind up. What we're going to do here is, this is the receiver that is included with this 2.4 gigahertz transmitter system, which looks like that. And what you want to do here is notify that the bottom port on here says ID set in the orange right there. What is included with this system is this piece here, which is called a bind plug. It's a looped plug that is used to trip the receiver system into bind mode to communicate with the transmitter. Very simple here, guys. So I've got some laid out internals here from an aircraft on the table to do a simulation here of how to bind it, and once we get it binded, you can see the servos working. So number one, you always want to make sure your throttle for the throttle for the ESC is plugged into channel number 3. Most of these will be pre-plugged in already, so you don't have to worry about that. I just had that disconnected so I can show you guys visibly a little bit closer here. What we're going to do now here is take the bind plug here, and we're going to plug the bind plug into the port that says ID set. Okay, so that is in there now. We'll plug that in there. Still, everything is off and disconnected. Your battery is not plugged into the aircraft right now at this time at all. I'm going to plug in a couple of mock servos here so you guys can get a visual sense of what's going on here. Okay, very simple. So now that you've done that, what we're going to do here now is transmitter's off, everything is off. We're going to plug the LiPo into your aircraft, okay? So right now we're going to go ahead and plug it in. Okay, it's plugged in. And what you'll notice is that on the receiver itself, there's a blinking green light, which is faintly visible here. I've got a pretty bright light over here shining on here, but there's a green light in here that's blinking. Once that green light is blinking, it's very simple. What we want to do here is on the transmitter, right here, there is a button that says bind set. Okay, what we want to do here is everything's off. We're going to grab the transmitter. we're going to simultaneously push the bind set button and then turn the transmitter on. And once you do that, you'll notice that the light on the receiver is going to go dark. Once the light on the receiver goes dark and the light on the power LED, bind LED on the transmitter starts to blink, go ahead and let go of the bind button. That light goes solid. Once that light goes solid here, all you have to do is unplug the bind plug from the ID set port. The little loopy thing, plug it out. That's it. Once you unplug it, the bind is complete and it is set. And chances are you will not have to rebind it again unless you unplug, unless you turn the transmitter off first. So which you don't want to do that. So right now it's plugged in, ready to go. And as you can see, we have servo movements here, and we have throttle. We have on the motor. So that is the bind process for the Blitz RC Works MC4, MC5, and MC6DF system that looks like this. And always remember, plug in your aircraft, turn on your transmitter first before you plug in your aircraft to fly. When you're done, always remember to unplug the aircraft first and then shut your transmitter off. That way it'll keep it from unbinding again. So right now we go ahead and unplug that and radio off. And you are good to go. Happy flying.